Hey, Fit Fam, welcome to Diet Free Fat Loss with Coach Fit Pro J. Tonight, I'm going to share with you 3 mistakes keeping you overweight. And then on, I don't know, Ask Jay, we'll talk about the Dirty Dozen, the Clean 15, and when and how you should stretch. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to share with you, like I always do, how to get tonight's bonus. All right, guys. For those of you that don't know me, hi, I'm Coach Fit Pro J, your diet-free fat loss specialist. I've been there, done that, and now help others do the same. I help people frustrated with the cycle of dieting, break the cycle, get results, and never diet again. So if you'd like to connect with a coach that talks the talk and walks the walk, you can connect with me by visiting fitprojcoaching.com/let's connect. That's fitprojcoaching.com/let's connect. Go ahead and go there and connect with me, guys. All right, let's get on to the show. So before I talk about 3 mistakes keeping you overweight, I have a question for everybody. I want to know, why do you work out? Why do you work out? Go ahead and type your answer in the comments section. Even if this is the replay, I want to know, why do you work out? I work out. Well, the main reason I work out is my mental health. It keeps depression down, keeps my depression down, and my mood up. All right. If my fitness is going in the right direction, I'm mentally good. All right. I work out because it makes me physically feel good too. And of course, I want to have a good quality of life going into my later years. You know, being 44, I want to be in my 50s and my 60s, my 70s. I want to be in great shape. All right. So I want to know, what are your reasons? What are your reasons for working out? Why do you work out? Go ahead and write in the comments section. Let me know why you work out. Well, you guys think about that and write that in the comment section for me. We are going to start off with 3 mistakes keeping you overweight. 3 mistakes keeping you overweight. When it comes to losing unwanted weight, there are a lot of things that you may be focusing on that you shouldn't be, and there's others that you should. We're going to talk about a few of those tonight. All right. The first mistake keeping you overweight, all right, it's focusing on carb restriction instead of carb type and carb timing. All right. Carb restriction. Let's define some of these things. Carb restriction is severely limiting your carb intake. All right. Unfortunately, it's usually associated with calorie restriction, meaning like limiting your calories while you're dieting. So long-term carb restriction along with calorie restriction can cause hormonal imbalances. It's not a good thing. One of those symptoms is your body going into that starvation mode, all right, making it very difficult to lose that unwanted weight. You know, it's not fun, not fun at all. Some of the other symptoms, okay, of hormonal imbalances are mood swings, anxiety, depression, low energy, brain fog, insomnia, and cravings too, you know, to name a few. Not a good experience. Not a good experience at all. You know, so it's a mistake to focus on carb restriction. Okay. Instead, you should be focusing on carb type and timing. All right. Carb type and timing. Let's go ahead and get into that. Carb type. Okay. Carb type, all that is the kind of carb you're going to eat. All right. There are 3 types of carbs: sugars, starches, and fiber. All right. Sugars, we're talking about cupcakes, candy, fruit juices, honey, maple syrup, table sugar, you know, sugars. Okay. Starches, when we're talking about starches, we're talking about rice, we're talking about oats, we're talking about breads, pastas, quinoa, things like that, whole grains. Okay. And then fiber. All right. We're talking about veggies, fruits, and legumes, you know, beans, peas, things like that. Uh, Largely indigestible plant parts is what we're talking about when we're talking about fiber. It is something that the body doesn't digest. So the 3 types of carbs are sugar, starches, and fiber. So carb type you want to pay attention to. Okay. Also carb timing. All right. And when we talk about carb timing, what we're talking about is when you When when you time your carb intake, gotta love that live video. Anyway, carb timing is when you time your carb intake. What type of carb do you eat before you work out? What type of carb do you eat after you work out? What types of carbs do you eat throughout the day on a non-workout day even? Carb timing. That's all carb timing is. So what happens is focusing on carb type and carb timing can work towards your advantage. All right. Focusing on the type of carb and when you eat it can make your body work for you instead of against you, like it does with a lot of us. Okay. So stop making the mistake of focusing on carb restriction and focus on carb timing and carb type. Okay. Are you making this mistake? Stay tuned to get some help. All right. Before I get on to number two of the three mistakes keeping you overweight, I asked a question. I want to know, why do you work out? Why do you work out? All right. Let's see if we have any comments here for this. Hey, Helen, how's it going? To keep muscles strong and limber. Absolutely. We got something. I have something for you today as far as keeping your muscles limber too, by the way. But that's an excellent reason for working out. It'll keep you going into your later years as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get into mistake number two in the three mistakes keeping you overweight. All right, so mistake number two. Mistake number two is focusing on cardio instead of lifting. All right. So focusing mostly on cardio, okay, it will make you a smaller version of yourself. You'll lose some fat along with some muscle, leaving you a smaller, looser, not so toned you. Because when you lose body fat and you lose muscle at the same time, if you're not tight and toned now, you're not gonna be tight and toned after either. You're just gonna be a smaller version of yourself. You're still going to be loose and not tight. This is a mistake, okay? Eventually you'll plateau and your progress will stop. All right. That's what happens when you just focus on cardio. Instead, what you want to do is focus on lifting and the right balance of cardio. Okay. Lifting weights will help you melt your fat off by boosting metabolism throughout the day. There's a couple other things that it does as well, but lifting will also support the muscle on your body so you don't lose it. Okay. So that when the fat does melt off, you end up getting that toned look, because when you lose body fat, but the muscle stays there, that's what's going to give you that shape and that toned look. Okay. So the right balance of cardio will keep your heart and lungs strong, of course. It will also help you add in some extra calorie burn, okay, without losing your hard-earned muscle, like we just talked about. So when you dial in the right amount of cardio and lifting, your body will start to drop that unwanted weight, keeping you tight, giving you that overall toned look that you're looking for. Okay. So that's mistake number two in the three mistakes that are keeping you overweight. Before I continue, I still want to see some comments come in on my question. Why do you work out? What are your reasons? I spilled my reasons why I work out. I want to know yours. All right. I want to know yours. Moving on to number three of the mistakes keeping you overweight. Number three. The third mistake is focusing on the end goal instead of the small wins. All right. Focusing on the end goal instead of the small wins. The end goal, okay, all that is the outcome of all your successful efforts. It's the outcome. Okay. The end goal is just the destination. Your end goal could be getting rid of that flab around your midsection so that your clothes fit better, or because you want to see your abs. You might just want to feel better every day by improving your overall health. Okay. Or maybe you want to perform better at a sport or other activity, or just function better in life. Okay. It's where you ultimately want to end up. That's your end goal. Okay. And just focusing on your end goal, by the way, that's like being in the Wizard of Oz, standing in Munchkin country, where you started after the Lollipop Guild singing you that song. All right. I hope I'm not showing my age here. But as you're standing in Munchkin County or country, okay, where you started, you're staring at the map and you're just focused at the Emerald City. That's where you want to go, because the wizard's there is going to, give you everything you want, right? But what you're doing is you're totally ignoring the path you need to follow to get there, the yellow brick road. You can't just focus on the destination and ignore the path because you need good directions to follow if you and Toto, all right, ever want to get there. Instead of the end goal, focus on the small wins. Focus on the small wins. All right. All small wins are all of the successful efforts that you make towards reaching your end goal. All right. So small wins, they're the bricks in the yellow brick road that pave the way to the Emerald City, where you're going to see the wizard. These bricks, okay, or small wins come in many different forms. All right. Things like making extra portions at dinner to pack for lunch the next day so you don't make a bad choice at lunch the next day, that's a win. Bringing your gym clothes to work so that you don't, go home and miss a workout. That's a win. Another win would be turning your TV and other electronics off early enough so that you can improve your rest and recovery. That's a win. All right. So focusing on executing these small wins will get you to your end goal a lot faster than staring off into space and dreaming about it. All right. Are you making this mistake? Are you focusing on the end goal and not paying attention to the path or the small wins to get there? If you are, stay tuned. I can help you with that. All right. So we just went over 3 mistakes keeping you overweight. And I had asked your reason for working out. Why do you work out? And before I get into, I don't know, ask Jay, because I have a couple questions for you. Let's take a look at what's going on here in the comment section. Munchkin Land. Man, I got to build this audience up. Munchkin Land, that's right. At least someone else knows what I'm talking about. All right. Let's move on. I don't know, Ask Jay. That is the segment of the show where you guys ask me questions about fitness and nutrition, and I answer them for you. I do need some more questions for this segment. All right. So, are there any fitness or nutrition related questions you would like to ask me about? If you do, go ahead and put them in the comment section. Even if this is the replay, go right ahead, because what will happen is I will check them out and I will probably end up answering one of them, like one of these, on the next broadcast. All right. So, shoot me over some questions for this segment. I don't know, Ask Jay, and I'll go ahead and answer them for you. All right. So, I am going to get into tonight's I don't know, Ask Jay. And the first question that I have is, what are the dirty dozen and the clean 15? What are the dirty dozen and clean 15? I am going to share my screen with you to show you this. Bear with me here. These guides that I'm about to show you, the dirty dozen, the clean 15, they're put out by the Environmental Working Group. That's ewg.org. Okay, they do it every year. The guides are based on the results of more than 35,000 samples tested by the USDA as well as the FDA. Okay. And they've come up with 12 foods with the most pesticides. All right. And also the top 15 foods with the least pesticides. So let's start by looking at the dirty dozen, the 12 foods with the most pesticides. All right, let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys and get this out of the way so you can see it. All right, we have strawberries at the top of the list. You should buy your strawberries organic. Let me tell you, they're high on that dirty dozen list. A lot of pesticides in strawberries. Strawberries and spinach, they're usually at the top of the list every year, okay? It takes a lot of pesticides to grow those when they're non-organic. Kale, collard, and mustard greens, number 3. We have nectarines, apples, grapes, cherries, peaches, pears, bell and hot peppers, celery, and tomatoes. All right. So these are the dirty dozen. And just so you know, you might want to buy all these organic, but what I've done as well is you can clean them as well. All right. And what I've done is in my group, my private Facebook group, Nutrition Boot Camps for All. Go ahead and join that because after this broadcast, I am going to post on there ways to clean the dirty dozen. It goes through each of the dirty dozen, all 12 of them, and it tells you specifically how to clean them and get most of the pesticides off. That's going to show up on Nutrition Boot Camps for All, the private Facebook group. So go ahead and join that so you can get that information. All right, so this is the dirty dozen. Now let me go ahead and switch this to the clean 15. These are the 15, the top 15, the top 15 produce that you don't have to buy organic or that are clean. Okay, let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. All right, so we have on here avocados, sweet corn, pineapple, onions, papayas, sweet peas that are frozen, eggplant, asparagus, broccoli, cabbage, kiwi, cauliflower, mushrooms, honeydew melon, cantaloupe. All right, these are the clean 15. These are the ones that you do not have to clean. All right. And let me go to the comments section now, see if anybody has anything to say about the dirty dozen and clean 15. Let me close that. What do we have here? Okay. Helen says dirty dozen needs to be washed because they absorb the. Yes, you got that right. And you know what? Tell you the truth, I would personally rather buy organic as opposed to washing, because who knows how much you really get out or how much of that is really absorbed into the flesh that you're going to consume. You know what I mean? Who knows? So go ahead, go up to that group and sign up and get that information. It'll be posted at the end of this broadcast. So there you go. So what are the dirty dozen and the clean 15? There you go. 12 foods that have the most pesticides that you should buy organic or clean them. And remember, join the Facebook group, Nutrition Boot Camps for All, to get the information on how to clean 12 of the dirty dozen, and then the top 15 foods with the least pesticides. All right. Moving along. So again, right now we are on the segment, I don't know, Ask Jay, where you guys ask me questions and I answer them. If you guys do have any questions for a future show, please put it in the comments section and it may be featured in one of the next shows. All right. I have one more question to answer for you guys this evening, and then I will let you go. When and how should I stretch? When and how should I stretch? First, there's a couple of different types of stretches. You got dynamic stretching and you have static stretching. Let's talk about them. Dynamic stretching, all that does is it consists of continuous movements throughout a stretch rather than holding a position. All right. Movements like leg swings, walking quad stretches, head circles, things like that. They're designed to increase your range of motion, promote mobility, and wake your muscles up, get them ready for what they're going to do. So dynamic stretching is a great practice to add to any warm up before you work out. Choose exercise that focus on the muscles that you are going to work on so you can promote that mobility and you can get those muscles warmed up. All right. So that's dynamic stretching. Dynamic stretching you do before you work out. Okay, the other type of stretching there is static stretching. Okay, static stretching, that involves stretches that you hold in place for a period of time without movement. Movements like the shoulder stretch, all right, the tricep stretch, and child's pose, a common yoga pose. All right, they're designed to increase flexibility, decrease muscle pain and stiffness, and enhance recovery. All right. So static stretching is great to add to your post-workout recovery. All right. Remember to choose exercise that focus on the muscles that you just worked on. That would help out a bit. So static stretching is for after you work out. All right. So there you have it. When and how should I stretch? You should do some dynamic stretches using the muscles that you're going to work on before you work out, and do some static stretching with the muscles that you did work on in your workout after your workout. So dynamic stretching and static stretching. All right. I am going to do a recap and then we'll talk about tonight's bonus. All right. So the recap, if you guys missed it, I asked a question. Why do you work out? What is your reason for working out? What is your reason for working out? Then we went over the 3 mistakes keeping you overweight. All right. Now, and then we went through, I don't know, Ask Jay, where we talked about stretching and we talked about the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. If you do have any questions for me, write them down in the comment section. I'll make sure that they get seen or answered on the next show. All right. Next, the bonus for tonight. The bonus for tonight. Are you making any mistakes keeping you overweight that you know of or that you might not know of? Get some free help. The way to get that help is to go to fitprojcoaching.com/connect fitprojcoaching.com/let's connect. Go there, fill out what you need to fill out, and we will talk about your mistakes and try to correct them. All right. Give you some confidence going forward in what you're trying to do. Excellent. That was tonight's show. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Again, for all of you that don't know me, hi, I'm Coach FitPro J, your diet-free fat loss specialist. I've been there, done that, and now I help others do the same. I help people frustrated with the cycle of dieting break the cycle, get results, and never diet again. If you'd like to connect with a coach that talks the talk and walks the walk, all right, you can visit fitprojcoaching.com to connect with me. All right. Remember, Fit Fam, when it comes to your fitness, keep it simple, keep it moving, and keep it real. I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at facebook.com/FitProJCoaching. See you guys later.